Welcome to part 2 of Middle Eastern Tales. We're going to get started with the story. This story features a well-loved and celebrated folk character who has captured hearts as far back as the 8th century in many different countries, from South Asia to Central Asia and in countries throughout the Middle East. He's called by many different names, such as Nasruddin, Hocha, and Cheha. But in Syria, he's known as Joha. Joha is known for being a funny character who behaves in strange, hilarious, or ridiculous ways. He's half mad and half wise. He's so smart that he sometimes appears to be a fool, or such a fool that he says smart things. The stories of Joha can be profound, serious, or absurd. But behind each story is a moral, or a pearl of wisdom. Joha is often accompanied by his donkey. This story is called Joha and His Donkey in A Trip to Town. One day, Joha said to his son, "Amir, it is such a beautiful day today. The sun is bright, the sky is a clear blue. It is the perfect day to take a trip to town." And Amir replied, "Oh, as you wish, father. I'll get the donkey ready so that I can go with you." "Oh, sure, son. I don't mind if you come along." So Amir prepared the donkey, gave him some grass and water. He put on the halter and a blanket, and he packed some bread and dried fruit to snack on along the way. And when the donkey was ready, Joha said to his son, "Let's go, Amir. You can ride the donkey, and I'll walk." "Oh, no, father. That's not right. You ride. I'll walk." "Oh, thanks, Amir. But as you can see, your father is too fat, so some walking will be helpful." So Amir rode the donkey, and Joha walked along beside him. The sun was high in the sky, but it was not too warm. They were enjoying their walk into town when they came across some farmers in the field, working hard, bringing in the crops. One of the men said to the others, "Would you look at that? Look at Joha's son riding the donkey. I agree. I pity the man to have a son like that." And they turned to each other and they said, "Hayawaili, Hayawaili, what a disaster!" Well, overhearing their comments, Amir quickly said, "Oh, father, did you hear that? Didn't I tell you? You should ride the donkey and I'll walk." So Joha reluctantly agreed to ride, while his son walked along beside. When they arrived in the town, they saw some people standing on the street corners and in front of the shops, watching them and pointing. The townspeople turned to each other and they said, "Would you look at that? Hayawaili, Hayawaili, what a disaster! Oh, such heartless cruelty. Look at Joha. Oh, he's riding the donkey and his young son is walking. Oh, what kind of a man would leave their weak little boy walking on his feet? Shame on Joha. Shame." Well, Joha took some time to think, until finally he said, I know. Listen, Amir, let's try to have the donkey walk alone, and we will follow behind him on foot. And that is what they did, until yet again they passed a group who were staring and pointing at them. Would you look at that? Hayawaili! Hayawaili! What a disaster! Oh, look at those two! Oh, such fools, father and son! Oh, they're walking behind the donkey on foot in the middle of this hot weather with dust flying everywhere! Oh, why don't they ride on the donkey? At the very least, one of them! Oh, what complete and utter fools they are! Hey, Joha! Are you afraid of heights? Well, once Joha heard that, he stopped the donkey and said to Amir, "What can we do to stop people from talking and judging us?" Amir looked off into the distance and thought. Until finally he said, "I know, father. Why don't we both ride the donkey? Me and you." Ah, Amir, finally we have a reasonable solution to keeping all of this criticism away. Get on the donkey. We'll both ride. So they continued on their journey, the two of them, confident that they would no longer have to endure criticism. But eventually, they came upon some passers-by who saw them and immediately started talking amongst themselves. "Oh, isn't that Joha? He's too fat to be riding that weak little donkey, and his son riding as well. Oh, that poor beast will never last the night carrying those two. Oh, the poor donkey, such cruelty. Joha, you should be ashamed of yourself, riding that poor weak little donkey, both of you on there, coming into town like this. Ayawaili, ayawaili, what a disaster!" Well, when Joha heard what they were saying, they sat on the ground and took a break. "I am so confused by all of these people. What can I do to satisfy them?" Suddenly, Joha stood very still. He got a strange look in his eyes. Amir had never seen him look like this before. Joha's face turned a beet red. He took a deep breath of air. Without saying a word, he walked over to the donkey, picked it up, and heaved the donkey over his shoulders. "Let's see what people say now. Let's see if this will satisfy them. Come along, donkey. Let's take a trip to town." The townspeople all stopped what they were doing. They looked at Joha and the donkey, and they did not say a word. They stared at him until suddenly... Look! Joha's carrying the donkey! Joha's lost his mind! Oh, what complete and what utter fools! Strange and wondrous! I'd heard he was a fool, but this is ridiculous! Would you look at that? Ayawaili! Ayawaili! What a disaster! Hey, Joha! Who's the master? And who's the donkey? Joha said to his son, "We have tried every way possible, and still we are not safe from people's talk. It seems that satisfying other people is one of life's goals that you cannot achieve. And that is the moral of the story. You cannot please other people, so do what you think is right. The end. Thank you very much, and a big thank you to the Fraser Valley Regional Library for having Stories on Wheels a part of their virtual summer reading club. Enjoy Summer Reading Club. Thanks very much, and see you again.